Hello everybody watching on YouTube and welcome to race number 6 of Season 2 NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Arizona 400 here at Arizona Speedway as we're getting set for 41 laps of racing here at this very fast mile-and-a-half racetrack. Probably now the fastest mile and a half I've ever seen in NR because they go over 200 miles an hour and rarely use brakes. So this is almost borderline restrictor plate racing here. So we shall see how it turns out. But before we look at the starting lineup, let's look at how the points look coming into the race today. Or tonight, I should say. Coming in this week, Rafael LeDuc has a huge points lead, 23 points over Anthony McCurry, 33 over Chris Michaels, 39 over James Qualls, and 42 over Benjamin Miles. The rest of the top 10 is Trent Dunham, Dorian Facepuncher, Dougie Shears, and then a tie for 9th with Seth Cole and Charles Sanford. Rest of the top 20 is Grayson Acevedo, Nelson Thornhill, our pole sitter for tonight, Emmanuel Hartnett, then Kev Shearer, then David Rivera, then Sean Galligan, then Preston Plord, Dylan Thoreau, JT Bryant, and Joshua Sekuli. So that is how the top 10 and the top 20 look coming into tonight's race. Starting lineup, starting in the last row, is Matt McIntyre and Chris Dollarton. Starting in the top 10, Emmanuel Hartnett on the pole. Starting next to him is Kev Shearer. Row 2 is Trent Dunham and Grayson Acevedo. Row 3 is Nelson Thornhill and Kyle Matthews. Row 4 is Joshua Collard and Dougie Shears. And then row 5, Preston Plord and Dylan Young. So with that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Arizona 400 here at Arizona Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
And there you have it. Now this is the first time that I am ever using this racetrack on any of my offline series. I've seen it raced in Seth Cole's series, and if I remember right, I was actually a former winner at this racetrack in one of his leagues. So this is going to be quite interesting to say the least. Since they go upwards of 200 miles an hour and rarely use the brakes. So like I said, this is almost like a combination of of a mile and a half or an intermediate style of a racetrack and a plate track because of the fact they rarely use brakes. So we shall see how the momentum will go here in this race. With Hartnett on the pole, we shall see how he does here on this initial start and see how everyone else behind them can get going. As I forgot, I had the best line turned on. Boogity, 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 let's go racing! And Emmanuel Hartnett led lap number 1, but now here comes Nelson Thornhill with a run on the inside. Thornhill coming off of a near victory last week at Canadian Tire, finishing 2nd. And now he's up here in the lead, as meanwhile in the back there was some contact between, I think it was Joshua Sekuli, Kyle Matthews, and now we got a crash. Oh, this is going to be bad, and I saw Joshua Collard get hit. This is the big multi-car crash here on the front stretch. A lot of cars damaged, including Mark Lane, Jesse King, Benjamin Miles was involved, Kyle Matthews, Kev Shearer, and I believe I even saw Emmanuel Hartnett even get involved. Dougie Shears was involved. Reed Rowden was involved. A lot of cars were caught up in this mess. And Nelson Thornhill staying out, so he's going to remain your leader. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Arizona. Well, here's a look at what happened. Looks like it's going to be contact from Trent Dunham into Emmanuel Hartnett, and that collects Joshua Collard, and that's what gets this whole entire situation started. And then they're spinning in the middle of the track, and there's where Kev Shearer gets involved, Dylan Young, Jessica Sheldon took a big hit. Huge hits for Kyle Matthews and Emmanuel Hartnett right there. And then everybody trying to slow up and not really having much of a choice. I think Carson Gum right there, I think he got through. Yeah, he got through. I have no idea how, because he was heading straight for the 09 of Kyle Matthews, and he locks up the brakes and gets slowed down in time. And then back up closer, and then we had a follow-up incident, probably as a result of the 20 or the 43 coming back up the racetrack. Or no, it was with Jesse King in the 03 of Charles Sanford. Looks like Sanford gets tight as they're trying to avoid and gets into the 51, sending the 51 through the grass, sliding, and then he's going to come right back up and collect Benjamin Miles and Dougie Shears, and they all hit pretty hard into the outside wall. Hard hit for Shears, and then Miles starts sliding. Sanford gets a piece of it, and there's Mark Lane getting his damage. And then Reed Rowden nearly gets through, but doesn't see through the cloud of smoke, the 56, and runs right into the rear end of the 56 as a result. So a lot of cars going to be out of the race as a result of everything that just took place. But Nelson Thornhill is your race leader, so let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Arizona. Well, as a result of that big wreck that took place, quite a number of cars are out of the race, and they include Kyle Matthews, Kev Shearer, Emmanuel Hartnett, Jessica Sheldon, Joshua Collard, Jesse King, and Reed Rowden. Some cars pitted, some didn't. Nelson Thornhill is your race leader. Second is Preston Blord. Third is James Qualls. Fourth, Anthony McCrory. Fifth is J.T. Bryant. Sixth is Grayson Acevedo. Seventh, Charles Jackson. Eighth, Angel Alvera. Ninth, Sean Galligan. 10th, DJ Curtis. 11th is Nathaniel Reed. 12th is Trent Dunham. 13th is Jonathan Zorline. 14th, Austin LaPlante. 15th is Carson Gums. 16th, Andrew Rich. 17th, Rafael LeDuc. 18th, Chris Dollerton. 19th, Charles Sanford. And 20th, Joshua Sekuli. Rest of the top 30 is Seth Cole, Mark Lane, David Rivera, Matt Haas, Chris Michaels, Dylan Young, Dorian Facepuncher, Matt McIntyre, Johnny Gardner, Ashland Boyd, and then the rest of the cars left on track are Phil Parker, Dylan Thoreau, Benjamin Miles, Dylan Poteet, and Dougie Shears. And the green flag is back out with 35 laps to go here at Arizona. Still a long way to go here in this race after what just took place on track. But Nelson Thornhill off to a bit of a slim lead. But now we got a battle for second ensuing as James Qualls has just gone by Preston Blord for the position. But now Anthony McCrory wants to play the game now. He's now underneath of Qualls. And I saw it's 3 wide here in the back, and is the caution out? Yeah, the caution's out again. And I'm not sure as to why. I don't see... Oh, DJ Curtis is damaged, and he runs into a car. He runs into Jonathan Zorline, sideswiping him. And a couple cars were in pit road after all that, but now Nelson Thornhill comes on the pit road, and I don't see anybody staying out, so... Everybody's coming into pit road. Although a few are going to stay out. Looks like Charles Sanford is going to risk it and stay out along with teammate Seth Cole. Jonathan Zorline's going to stay out, which I'm surprised about because he just got sideswiped. Quite a good amount of cars are going to stay out and risk it and see what happens. So let's take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the second time tonight here at Arizona. Well, here's a look at what happened. So it looks like Grayson Acevedo slowed up to get into pit road, and that caused some confusion. And at the same time, Nathaniel Reed gets into the left rear quarter panel of Angel Alvera, which gets him into DJ Curtis, and then DJ Curtis goes into the outside wall, and that causes a buckle on the front end of his car. And look at Carson Gum again threading the needle and missed a wreck. I have no idea how Carson Gum's able to avoid all this melee that's taking place, and I was trying to figure out as to why this was slowing down back here, but only a single car spin as a result of some confusion because a couple cars were coming into pit road. But let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Arizona. Well, luckily no cars are out of the race after that second caution, so... But anyway, some strategy going on. Some cars pitted, some stayed out once again. Charles Sanford is your leader, which I'm shocked about because he's got a little bit of damage from that big one. Second is Seth Cole. Third is Jonathan Zorline. Fourth is Andrew Rich. Fifth, David Rivera. Sixth is Joshua Sekuli. Seventh is Chris Michaels. Eighth is Matt McIntyre. Ninth, Ashland Boyd. 10th, Phil Parker. 11th is Dylan Thoreau. 12th, Dylan Poteet. 13th, Benjamin Miles. 14th, Rafael LeDuc. 15th, Sean Galligan. 16th, Angel Alvera. 17th, Austin LaPlante. 18th, Trent Dunham. 19th, Charles Jackson. 20th, Anthony McCrory. Rest of the top 30 is Nelson Thornhill, Johnny Gardner, James Qualls, JT Bryant, Mark Lane, Matt Haas, Nathaniel Reed, Dylan Young, Dorian Facepuncher, and Carson Gum. Then the final five are Preston Plord, Chris Dollarton, DJ Curtis, Dougie Shears, and Grayson Acevedo. Charles Sanford is your leader, and I'll be curious to see if his car is a tad bit slower because of some damage he sustained in that big one. But it's 30 laps to go here at Arizona, and Sanford didn't quite get going on that restart, and I think it might be because of a little bit of that damage coming into play. And now here comes Seth Cole with a run for the lead. Two teammates out of Retro Racing Enterprises battling for position. Better keep an eye out on everything off of turn 4. Oh, some cars are pitting again. Anthony McCrory, Nelson Thornhill, Grayson Acevedo. They may be trying to go for strategy to just try and finish off the rest of the race with more gas than everybody else. But I guess Sanford may not be slow after all. I guess he is up to speed. I guess he just didn't quite get as good of a restart as Seth Cole did, and that's how Seth Cole was able to go by him. But Nelson Thornhill gets out of the pits. Same with Anthony McCrory, but the 55 still on pit road. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with all these cars. Because remember, pit strategy is a huge thing at this racetrack. As Seth Cole continues to lead the way. Charles Sanford in second. Meanwhile, we got a big, massive fight going on for third. Phil Parker has the spot, but Dylan Poteet and company want that spot. And now I saw Trent Dunham. He's now on pit road. Not sure why I'm not sure why there are guys short pitting right now, unless they are banking on a caution to come out and they could just take the wave around and get their lap back in order to get back into contention somehow. But Trent Dunham's back out onto the racetrack as we are looking around the field as they caught Grayson Acevedo in the 55, who isn't damaged. He's up to speed. It's just, I guess he was still getting up to speed after coming out of the pits. But Seth Cole leads, but now it has brought almost everyone right up to the 98. Phil Parker in second and Angel Alvera in third. 3 wide back here for the 4th spot. Johnny Gardner on the inside of David Rivera and Dylan Thoreau, or it was at the time. And now here comes Gardner with a full head of steam. Meanwhile, Seth Cole continuing to lead the way here at Arizona. As I'm looking around to see what all is going on the track. As Nelson Thornhill is going by the slower machine of DJ Curtis. And now a battle's about to rage on for lead as here comes Johnny Gardner with a run on the inside. And Johnny Gardner did lead that lap. As we are continuing to look around the field to see what all is happening. As Gardner leads and Seth Cole is right there on his back bumper trying to get the spot back. Chris Michaels, on the other hand, up to 3rd, Charles Sanford, and then 4th. And then battles continue to rage on as Matt McIntyre is stuck in the middle 3 wide. Not the right place to be as Seth Cole is still on the back bumper of the 15 as they are about to catch the slow machine of DJ Curtis. And he's going to hold up Seth Cole. That inside line is in trouble. As a result, the outside line is going to prevail the most, at least for the time being. And now it's the high line that's going to get held up. But that just helped for Johnny Gardner to get out to a bigger gap. Oh man, we got to keep our eyes open. And now Phil Parker's slowing down to get in pit road. So we're getting some green flag pit stop strategy going on. The 4 has entered the pits. As meanwhile, the 14 continuing to hold up a lot of cars. And Nelson Thornhill is the next car to potentially go 2 laps down. But now I saw a couple more cars coming into the pits. David Rivera and Joshua Sakuli, but we got a crash. Oh my God. DJ Curtis, I cannot believe that. What in the world has happened here? The caution is out. But man, oh man, I am utterly shocked right now. The 14 just flew up above the catch fence. Oh my God, I am stunned right now. I cannot believe that I just saw that happen. DJ Curtis got launched after a huge hit from, I think it was the 22 of JT Bryant, and that's shot his car up higher than the catch fence. Meanwhile, some of the lap down cars are coming into the pits, but if I would have been them, I would have tried and stay out and take the wave around to get their lap back or 2. But I see only one car staying out, and that's Benjamin Miles. So let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the 3rd time tonight here at Arizona. Well, this is very similar to what we saw earlier. It looks like contact between the 17 and the 14 sends both the 14 and the 22 around, and then right there, driver's side first by Dorian Facepuncher to continue to hit him, and then right as he flew up into JT Bryant, and look at that car, it went into the catch fence, almost over the catch fence, and into the grandstands. That could have been very, very tragic if it wasn't for the catch fence holding up, and even at the highest point. But let's go super slow-mo. Yeah, it was right there, that hit again from Facepuncher. It sent him flipping, and then he gets up on top of the 22, and that's what launched his car up into the catch fence and reached up to the top of the fence, but luckily the top of the fence held up, and it prevented that car from going into the grandstands. But oh my god, that was one of the scariest rides I have ever witnessed in the history of NR online. Or offline, I should say. I mean, just look at that thing. And that thing was picking up speed as it was flipping, too. I mean, just holy cow. After 2 straight hits into the driver's side door by the 62 of Dorian Facepuncher caused that car to get up into the air and start to flip, and then once he flipped over on top of the 22 of JT Bryan, that's what got him into the catch fence. But man, oh man, that was just absolute insanity. But let's go ahead and take you back to the restart here at Arizona. Well, after that last caution, 2 more cars are out of the race, and they include JT Bryant and DJ Curtis. Shockingly, Dorian Facepuncher is not out of the race and is still on the lead lap. Now, we've got quite the confusing mess up here as far as where the leader is. Right here is your leader, Matt Haas in the 77, so he will lead to the green flag. Then it's Johnny Gardner second, third Carson Gump, fourth Seth Cole, fifth Sean Galligan. 6th Chris Dollerton, 7th Nathaniel Reed, 8th Dylan Young, 9th Matt McIntyre, 10th Angel Alvera. 11th Charles Jackson, 12th Dougie Shears, 13th Charles Sanford, 14th Andrew Rich, 15th Dylan Thoreau, 16th James Qualls, 17th Ashland Boyd, 18th Rafael LeDuc, 19th Mark Lane, 20th Chris Michaels, 21st Preston Plord, 22nd Dorian Facepuncher, 23rd Austin LaPlante, 24th David Rivera, 25th Joshua Sekuli, 26th Phil Parker, 27th Jonathan Zorline, and 28th is Dylan Poteen. The cars on the inside are all a lap or more down. But those guys who are a lap down are definitely banking on a caution to come out so they can get back around to the tail end of the longest line and somehow, some way, maybe get in contention for some decent finishes. Nelson Thornhill being the first one to pull out a line to get up there. But now he's going to open up room for Trent Dunham and Grayson Ace Veto to get up there. As meanwhile, as far as a fight for the lead goes, it looks like it's Johnny Gardner taking over the top spot on the racetrack. Like I said, this is quite a confusing mess up here after the caution coming out in the middle of green flag pit stops. So as a result, the 15 right now has the lead, even though he's running behind a bunch of cars. And I think now second is Chris Dollerton in the 23. Oh, Carson Gum! Looked like he nearly got turned off of turn 4 and he saved it. That could have been very, very, very dangerous. And Dylan Young's pulling into pit road. And Dougie Shears coming out of pit road. As meanwhile, Gardner still leads, but now Chris Dollerton making it 3 wide with Sekuli, the lap car, in the middle. But here comes Angel Alvera with Nathaniel Reed, a couple of rookies running up here to try to win this thing. Less than 10 to go, coming to 9 to go here in Arizona. Oh, teammates collide. Oh, Nathaniel Reed. The pass through the apron. And now Nathaniel Reed, as a result of that contact from the 24, is going to take the top spot on the track. That was amazing right there. The 88, the rookie out of Hendrick Motorsports, Nathaniel Reed, nearly gets turned by his own teammate, saves it, and gets to the top spot on the racetrack. Looking around to see what all is happening as far as battles and potential wrecks that might have happened. But now Matt McIntyre takes over the top spot on the racetrack. But here comes early leader Seth Cole. Phil Parker, who's now gone a lap down, is trying to fight his way to get that lap back despite we're less than 10 to go. But Matt McIntyre's got contact with Trent Dunham and Seth Cole, and they keep it together. I thought for sure that was going to be a wreck. 3 wide, 2 lap cars racing 3 wide underneath the leader. But the 24 still has the spot on the track, and Seth Cole is right there on his back bumper. As it looks like they're going to catch a couple of slower cars or cars coming out of pit road. Dylan Young and Dougie Shears. I don't know how this is going to affect anything. As far as fights for the lead, here comes Charles Sanford trying to work the bottom underneath teammate Seth Cole. Close at the line, and Andrew Rich has entered into the battle as well. This is really a big mess. And now the 96 of Rich is now your leader. Charles Jackson right behind him with Angel Oliveira right there too. Man, all this mayhem going on up here at the front with tail end cars and lap down cars. Andrew Rich has the lead with Angel Oliveira right on his back bumper. And then you got Phil Parker in between Oliveira and Charles Jackson, who's in third. It's rookies 1, 2, 3 right now on the racetrack, as it's now 3 laps to go here in Arizona, and Andrew Rich still leads, but the caution is out! Caution is out! Oh, and we had a crash with Zorleen, Young, and Boyd. And I think they just took the caution. I think that's going to end the race. That is going to end the race because there's no way we're going to be able to get back going. And Andrew Rich was the leader when they took the caution. Oh my goodness. Just as we were maybe going to have an incredible finish, the caution comes out when we're coming to 2 laps to go. And Andrew Rich in the 96 is your leader. Real quick before we get to the checkered flag, let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the 4th and final time, or maybe the 3rd and final time here at Arizona. Well, it looks like they were attempting 4 wide, and right there, Charles Sanford gets into Jonathan Zorleen. That sends him up into the 2 of Dylan Young. And look at the hit that the 5 took, and as a result, that sends him on his side. Nearly flips over. But then, company's going to come in as watch the 10 of Ashlyn Boyd right there into both cars, and that's how the 10 ended up getting involved. So 3 cars end up getting involved after some mishaps on the racetrack. But let's go ahead and take you to the checkered flag here at Arizona. Well, after that last caution, 3 more cars out of the race. Ashlyn Boyd, Jonathan Zorleen, Dylan Young coming out of turn 4 to take the checkered flag and get his first career Marvel Studios Cup Series win, and I believe the first rookie this season to win a race. The winner is the 96 Rockstar Energy Ford. Andrew Rich wins the Arizona 400 at Arizona Speedway. Despite some confusion with the scoring after that DJ Curtis crash occurred, the 96 of Andrew Rich from the upstart team of Rockstar Racing wins at Arizona. Great run for him. But let's look at the rest of the results, as it was top 3 rookies. Angel Oliveira with a great run in 2nd, and a great run for 3rd for Charles Jackson. 4th with a solid run was Sean Galligan, and a great run in 5th for Dylan Thoreau. Great run in the 6th position for Nathaniel Reed. Solid 7th place finish for Chris Dollarton. Great run in 8th for Matt McIntyre. Solid run in 9th for Johnny Gardner, and then a great run in 10th for Seth Cole. The rest of the top 20 was Matt Haas, Charles Sanford, Rafael LeDuc, Carson Gum, Chris Michaels, Preston Blord, James Qualls, Mark Lane, Austin LaPlante, and Dorian Facepuncher. And then the last 2 cars to finish on the lead lap were Joshua Sekuli and Anthony McCrory. The rest of the top 30 were a lap or more down after all the pit stops they took and the confusion were Phil Parker, Dylan Poteet, David Rivera, Dougie Shears, Grayson Acevedo, Nelson Thornhill, Trent Dunham, and Benjamin Miles. Everybody else was out of the race after all the crashes that took place. Ashland Boyd, Jonathan Zorleen, Dylan Young, JT Bryant, DJ Curtis, Kyle Matthews, Kev Shearer, Emmanuel Hardnett, Jessica Sheldon, Joshua Collard, Jesse King, and Reed Rilden. So anyways, that does it for our coverage here tonight here at Arizona Speedway. Thank you guys for watching this race. I think next week, I'm trying to figure out, as I apologize for the freeze, I'm going to double check. Next week, we head over to a short track, our first short track race of the season. We're going to be heading to Dodge Motordome for the Dodge Dealers 400. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Dodge Motordome. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.